Testing one, two, three. That looks good. All right. That's working. That's good. Why does this seem so? That's better. Okay, let's do this. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we're back with another Saturday night live stream here. I'm still obviously working on the big project. That's not changed. Um, I have had a lot of time to rest and kind of recuperate, and I'm back. And hello, Rainbow Shop. Hey, Shop, whatever. Hello. We are good. Although we're kind of separated at the moment. My wife had a dinner out and has not gotten home yet, so she's elsewhere, but responding in chat. So that's sort of cool, I guess. We have her in spirit. Um, so okay, for people who don't follow regularly, I just had my birthday slash wedding anniversary this last week. So I've had a little bit of time away. I have not accomplished much, so there's not a whole lot more to show you as far as like how big this thing is. But we still have the secret word game that's still going on. We're still looking for a winner. Obviously, you have to come here and to the live streams and hang out and do the chatting with us in order to trigger the event to make that happen. So there's that. Yeah. What else? Um, so one of the side things that I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to learn calligraphy. Let's go to this one. I'm trying to learn calligraphy, and I'm finding it difficult because I have in my head I've been doing calligraphy in, just writing, all my life. You write different things, although I have to admit more recently it's been more typing on a computer. But we always think of ourselves as doing an action, um, and that it should be easy to, make it a little bit better or whatever else. And I realized there's a similarity to this in my bracelet making. A lot of people look at my work and are like, wow, it's so even, it's so this, it's so that. It really comes down to immense amount of practice. Um, and hang on, let me just on some music here and we get a little philosophical. Um, it's really practice and it's really about making the effort. And that's why I'm having difficulty with the calligraphy is have not practiced good handwriting and I'm not sure how to do good handwriting. So if you're struggling with your bracelet work, just know that it takes hours and time and practice and looking at what you've done and critically thinking about what you're doing in order to get it the way you want it to look. So that's my little epiphany I had. I also realized I have to add a string here. This yellow is really short. The other side is nice and long, but this one is short. So I figured this would be another good opportunity to show you what is how to do that, even though we're not doing any yellow knots. So let me just tie these down. All right. Get this white one out of the way. Now, to add the yellow string, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first tie the first half of the blue coming across it, and then I'm going to add yellow string that I just happen to have prepped and ready to go because I knew this was coming. Now, when I put it on, I'm going to have it going to my left. And why is because when the blue knot goes to the right, the yellow strings are going to be going to the left. And that way it ends up landing where it's supposed to go. So I just finished the second part of tying the blue, and I can see there's just a little bit of yellow down in the corner. I don't think you can see that on the camera, but I'm going to ignore that at the moment because if I pull it, I will actually loosen out the blue knot. Right, next I go ahead and do a couple more. Now that I've tied a couple more knots with the blue is not likely to go anywhere, and I can give it that little tug and it just disappears into the background. So that's pretty cool, right? So meanwhile, I just kind of go about doing the rest of this as normal. When I get to where the two yellows are, I will tie over both of them as though there was just one string, and that'll actually make it to where it'll basically just go in seamlessly and disappear within the rest of the work. So I'll show you when I get to that point. It is sort of a work thing, honey. So my wife is off at one of her freelance job peoples, and who's recently realized that she's been working for him for like 10 years now. And although it's a nice, more or less social engagement, it's still semi-work-ish. Anyhow, yeah, I just had a couple of nights away from the house, which for me is it's a mixed feelings, because part of me worries about what's going on here with Dad's condition and everything, and part of me is really happy to be away from everything and being creative and trying something different, relaxing. And plus there was a lot of adult beverages. That was fun. Okay, so here comes that yellow again. Now, one of the things that I'll do is, because there's 4 strands underneath instead of just 2, is I will pull this just a little bit tighter, just to try to make sure that this knot has the same size as the previous and the next one. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to, like, use a lot of muscle or anything, but I still make a conscious effort that I want to make sure that it's hidden away and not visible. So and again on the yellow, this time I go into going to the right and then to the left, and I just a little extra snug just to make sure that the size is right where I want it to be. All right. So you guys are awfully quiet up there. Stay stuff. Ask questions. The yellow's been gone over, what, 2 times? Let's go over it a couple more here. The host Mandy? Or me? I'm here. Am I not the host? I just confused. I like the cat in the box though. I didn't know you could do that in it. You can hear me, right? Like, I do have volume. I would really suck at this point if you guys had not been able to hear me. I would lose my mind. I've said so much already. The bar moves, so I assume you guys have to be able to hear me. This is why I always like having the wife around. She can give me the little nod. Yes, we can hear you. Or no, they can fix it. Let me know where the volume levels are. Like, is the music too loud, too soft? Oh, so another fun fact about today. I got up this morning and did 100 miles, or no, sorry, no, not 100 miles, 100 kilometers on my indoor trainer bike thing. So that's the most I've ever done, and I did it in just over 3.5 hours. I'm gonna be really bummed if I find out that you guys can't hear me. Hello. Alright, now we're on the other side of this, and this is where the yellow has been replaced. So I make sure I get my long one here, and I'm just going to tuck the short one off in the back so that way I'm done using it. It'll get cut off later on. And yeah, that's all there is to having changed out a string. And mind you, the importance of being able to change out a string, like even when you're not doing that particular color, is the fact that it means you can change up things preemptively, because you may not have the opportunity to change it when it's a little bit more convenient. So that's kind of pretty significant, like I would say, as far as doing bigger projects, or even if it's just like a long project, it really could make a big difference. Mind you, I would still choose to have long strings. If I was making an anklet, I would rather have long strings for something that I don't necessarily have to change up. But if it really is going to come down to having to change out the strings, then this is obviously a workable method. All right. Hang on a second here. Alright, so who else? Looks like we have somebody join. And then they disappeared. Alright, let's see. Next one is this. Okay. And when you start off the new squares like this or whatever, it's kind of a good chance to kind of look in and see what needs to be replaced. Looks like I'm okay. Oh, you see, you had me totally confused. I'm like, can you not hear me? What's the... Oh. Had me nervous there. That would explain a whole lot. I'm over here freaking out because I was just explaining how to actually add a string yellow inside of this whole blue, red, or blue and orange box. So I was afraid that all that was for nothing and I'd have to re-explain it at some point. So, Rainbow, you missed. I was just saying that earlier today, I got up and really pushed myself. I did 100 kilometers on my indoor trainer. So I'm kind of stoked about my accomplishment. It's actually the longest I've ever ridden on an indoor trainer in one day, and I did it in just over 3.5 hours, which is, I would say, pretty good time, considering I've never tried anything quite like it before. So. Hello, whoever came and joined us. Sorry, I can't help but to look at the stats thing, and it says that there's more people here. So hello, don't be shy. Sure, I'm going to have some more strings to add here again. Go over that a bit more, but yeah. Yeah, it's been kind of a crazy week. I was saying I spend a bunch of time playing with pens and markers and drawing and trying to relax and unwind and enjoy my birthday. as well as my 10th anniversary. I've been married to my wife for 10 years now. That was pretty cool. It was also kind of neat because, and partially how we get to go and do these cool trips and stuff. My wife works for media, and it's kind of funny. It becomes really, really apparent when you're going through the hotel and everybody knows her name. Like, oh, hello, Mandy. And then they kind of look at me like, and whoever the hell you are. Yeah, still way cool. Right. It's all good. I think you're kind of young though for senior moments. I'm not sure that, because if you can be old enough to have senior moments, then sheesh, does not bode well for me. Yeah, definitely had a good couple days there. And it's kind of neat. Dad, for whatever reason, never even noticed that we were gone. So, mind you, he asks if we're here. But then, oh yeah, they're busy. They're, doing this or that. And he just goes about his day like, okay, fine. So that's kind of cool. Doesn't change the fact that I still get nervous about the whole not being here, keep an eye on him or whatever. Oh, I guess for the people who are watching this later, because obviously Rainbow knows about this, my father-in-law has Alzheimer's disease and is about 90 to 95% blind. So we basically look after him. He does have a helper, but on the regular, it's I'm doing the laundry, I'm doing a bunch of the stuff around the house and stuff. So leaving him away, behind or whatever, while we went and enjoyed ourselves for a few days, definitely it makes me a little worried, but he didn't even miss us, so I don't know. I guess I worry for nothing. I guess if anybody is tuning into this and they've never actually seen my channel before, I should mention the fact that I've been a bracelet maker for 30 plus years, and this is the largest thing I've ever actually worked on. It's 866 strings wide, and so far I've had to add so much string that the whole thing itself now weighs over 1 kg, which is 2.2 pounds for the Americans, because they don't want to get with metric system for some reason. I don't get it. And you may notice, so I just finished with these strings right here, and then I tucked them aside over here because I won't be using them again until I get back up to the top and start coming down with this row here, right? By doing that, I'm essentially assuring that my strings don't get all tangled together. I'm just keep them in small groups. That makes it much easier for dealing with these kind of things. So when I say don't get your strings in a bunch, this is partially how I avoid it. Is that little group or whatever is going to be real easy to separate out, and I'll separate it with everything up to this point here, right? All these strings will be in the next set of groups when I bring the next row down. It's looking for little things like that to help avoid headaches and avoid minor catastrophes and stuff. Will make your work so much easier and the flow so much better as you progress through the art. And this is true, setting aside groups or whatever is true whether I'm doing a big thing or even just a chevron. You know, how you handle your strings pretty much stays the same no matter what size the project is. If you set aside the ones that you're not using, you're assured to not get them tangled up or in the rest of the mix in some kind of weird way. Okay, I got a orange one that's too short. And a white. Alright, let me grab some string. So our staycation, wow, it was amazing. It was so much fun. We were on the 31st floor, which is the highest floor in the hotel. And it overlooked the water and stuff in front of the National Stadium. And you could, we were up high enough that you could see Malaysia way up in the distance. Like one of the mountainousy kind of area. Maybe not really a mountain, just big hill area way off in the distance. So that was really cool. The staff were absolutely fantastic. That was great. They were a lot of fun. They kind of got to know us and joke with us. Even got to the point the one dude totally knew what I like to drink and made sure that my doubles were doubles. Holy cow. It was, holy man. Yeah, that was pretty intensive stuff. And thank you for the bike ride comment. I'm really pleased with myself for that. Okay, so this white string is another one of those ones where there isn't going to be a white knot for a while and the string is really short. So I'm going to start the blue across like normal. I just kind of leave it to the side. And then I'm going to grab my white string. Make sure that I have it, find the center of it. Well, that's another thing. If you're going to add string, doubling it up really makes a big, huge difference. That's just... Okay, so I got these two ends together. That means when I drag it through my fingers like this, this will be the center. I'm going to put that on here like that. And it's going off to the left because after this blue goes to the right, the white will be going over to the left. See? Just like that. Now, I won't tug the white until after I at least get another good knot with the blue to really help make sure that the blue is good and secure. And then just a little tiny tug and the excess of little white dot that was over there just disappears. And that's really, yeah, that's really all it takes to get a string on where there isn't another knot. Now, just a moment here. I am going to have to do a string where it is actually the orange. So let me just get these ones down here at the end first. Kind of enjoying the music tonight. It just seems, is it me or is it just seems very 80s? I'm not sure what it is about it. Just has a crazy 85. Okay, so this orange that I just tied a knot with is what's going to get replaced. So that means in this case, we're going to once again find the center. And this string that we're using is going to the right. So this time, I'm going to take the string here and I'm going to bring it over to the right hand side. I'm going to go ahead and complete the knot. And I'm going to snug that in really nice and tight because I don't want, when I pull on this, to disrupt the nature of how the knot looks. Okay. Do half of the knot, put the shorter tail that's to be replaced over the middle, and finish the knot. And take that short piece, put it up high, all the way. Now this is going to be a little dodgy, right? Because I have two whites, and now I'm going to have two oranges. So I'm really going to snug this knot in really good and tight to try to keep it concealed as to what just happened right there, because there's a lot of string in one place. But by getting it good and tight like I have, nobody's ever going to be the wiser that anything happened right there. I'm going to bring this orange down and I'm going to tie the knot over top of it. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, flawless. There's no way somebody's gonna know what just happened there. And I can now take that orange tail and sort of tuck it off in behind so it doesn't get used again. Yeah, it really was a good time. Thank you. It really was a great time. Everybody knows my wife, so that's sort of fun. Everybody, you know. We managed to kind of, I don't know, it was just relaxing. It was good. I haven't had a lot of time where I just feel like relaxing. We both ended up drawing some pictures and stuff. Quit for a moment there, couldn't remember where mine is. So I drew this. This is what happens when I have time to myself and trying to do something creatively different. So yeah. And oh, so Rainbow, that was you once before said you hadn't seen my playing with mandalas with colors and stuff, so that was one. I think it turned out pretty cool. All right. there's a lot of zigzags in this particular design. I don't know if you noticed all that. It's just trying to do right there, but yeah. And now I've done enough with the white that I can actually tuck the excessive piece underneath. And that's why, I don't know if you can, I guess you can see, my board that I have on the easel has a big hole in it. So that way strings that I'm done with that have been replaced or whatever have a place to go in behind. If I was using a regular plain board or a regular old easel or something, I would have to kind of tuck them off to the side and try to make sure that they didn't come into play where I accidentally pick them up and try to tie them into the project, which that could totally happen. And I think that's kind of what led me into how I learned how to do the spiral bases. When I realized that you could actually add more strings, I came to the realization that, wait, if you could add more, couldn't you subtract? What happens if you accidentally tied a knot over 2 instead of just the 1? And it turns out you can forcibly make it fewer and fewer strings. And if you had started with a cylinder, you know, even just a few strings less, you're decreasing that diameter. So doing the spiral bases really comes down to trying to find the right rhythm for dropping strings. So that's kind of advanced for this. But if you're into wanting to learn more about that, I have several videos on the advanced like playlist that'll explain how I do it and show the results and stuff. I've made quite a number of bags. Like, some people act like that's all I do is like big projects, which is not true. If you actually go into my website, akaawol.com, you can actually go over to the shop, and the majority of the bracelets there are not big. They're reasonably sized. So that's where people get the idea that it's so big. I don't know. I do suppose so that my most watched videos are the bigger projects, so maybe that's the correlation. So, and hopefully I inspire you guys to want to try some projects that you might not have been thinking you're capable of doing or whatever. Bigger projects are the same as a small project, just requires more time, a little more dedication. Okay, this blue is really, really short. Let me change that up now. That's, I guess, see, it's being probably. I'm probably okay with the amount of string I have cut right now for like at least today or tomorrow, but by next week I'll definitely need more. We're at 670 skeins of string cut for this project to date, which obviously that's going to continue to grow as the project continues. But that's a number for me that just seems almost unbelievable. I mean, I still look back at when I first bought 100 skeins as this momentous moment of, wow, I got so much string. And now, yeah, that's such a small fraction of what I actually go through now. But this project also has kind of given me a little insight on the whole notion that, you know, if you've got the time and you got the means, doing a big project is potentially very rewarding. It just, when I hold this thing up for the pictures and stuff, I just get this feeling of like, yeah, this is epic. So mind you, I am a little concerned. The next pass that I do on this, um, it seems that so many strings have gotten short right around the same time, and I haven't had to replace everything in this pass, but I feel like so much is going to get changed out the next time around. And even with just doing as small passes like I'm doing right now, where I'm only doing like 4 diamonds to each row, I kind of feel like it's going to be there's going to be a lot of string changed. Mind you, it may be possible that it'll be the last string change, which that would be kind of cool. But yeah. Right, it is. It's retro, some kind of weird. It's like the 80s met techno or something. I don't know. It's cool. I was trying to find something kind of low key, sort of whatever. But this is keeping me going. This is good. After a few days of nothing. Oh, so the staycation, yeah, they kept like there was a decent breakfast, but then there's like tea time snacks with all these little cakes and pastries and finger foods that are just all kinds of sugary things, and then an evening bunch of snackies along with adult beverages. So and since the adult beverages are free flowing, of course I hit it like dollar double. Oh man, yeah, I tried to stay as toasty as I could. Oh, and because it was our anniversary, they gave us a bottle of champagne, so there was a night of drinking a bottle of champagne. I may have had the lion's share of that one too. Ah. Yeah, it was a good time. Mind you, bike ride today definitely helped to kind of feel like I cleaned out my body from all of the nuttiness that the weekend had, or well, it wasn't even the weekend, weekdays had. Right. Wait, how are you? It feels like you are, um, like maybe because it was paused or something. You're like minutes and minutes behind. That's crazy. Yeah, I have no idea how much lag time there is. Normally with my wife here, I can tell what the basic lag time is by basically pausing what I say for a moment, and then when I start talking again, I can pick up what she's getting from her headphone sets. But with her not here, I have no idea. Ooh, I have a way that might work though. I can do... Take a moment here and thank all my Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. If you're thinking about joining Patreon and helping support the channel, you might want to wait a couple days. We're almost at the end of the month and the billing starts at the first of the month. So yeah, wait a couple days, come and join us, hang out. I do a lot of vlogs as well as help people with patterns, stuff like that, or you know, we have like a monthly live chat thing, which I'm kind of open to if anybody wants to, you know, meet up in the middle of the month or whatever else. Now that I have the Google's meeting thing, we can totally do stuff like that too. So yeah, but like I said, I would wait until like the 1st of February if you're going to join. Might as well get the most out of it. Yeah. Oh, and even at the $5 level, I'm now putting the names in there. So yeah, if you guys want to have your name up on the screen, you can do that. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but like this orange string right here, you can kind of get an idea of how long it is. It's too long to actually, you know, replace it already, but it's gonna need replacing in the near future, and it seems like a lot of strings are gonna end up that way. Oh, thank you, Regina. That's nice. Welcome. Yeah, so this pass, I you know, we've changed out 2 strings, right? I have a feeling that when it comes to the next set, it's just going to be replacing strings left and right. And sadly, even if I'm completely organized, have all the strings cut in advance or anything like that, it's really going to become way more time consuming. And that can be a little discouraging when you're kind of trying to get on a nice rhythm or whatever. So it is what it is, though. I mean, if you're going to work on a big project, this is the kind of things you can end up running into, is having episodes where it's a little bit more effort involved. So Regina, I don't recognize the name. If you're new here, let me show you something neat. Let's see. This is, whoops. See, it goes on and on and on. The project itself is huge. Let's see. And then this is kind of give you an idea of the overall size. It's huge. So yeah. It's ginormous. Oh, new person. Should let you know, there's a secret word game going on where if you mention the right word in chat, you get to win these lovely prizes. The bracelet on the right I made, and the other 2 lovely things were made by the Rainbow Haze Shop. So this is our biggest prize that we've done to date. And yeah, I really think it's kind of a cool deal. So yeah, just something to know. Yeah, it seems like all these strings here are really just on that cusp. Like, yeah, they're not too short. Probably about 12 inches long. So, you know, you don't quite want to cut it off yet, but it won't last much longer. It's okay, so the word comes from something to do with my videos. So yeah, there is a correlation between the word and my work, and in this time, last couple times it was stuff from off of the website. Let's see, what was the first one? Wow, I can't believe I can't remember the first one. I know the second one was caffeinated, which had to do with the pattern where this actually originated from. There was a design called highly caffeinated. But this time it's more related from the video side of things. Oh, thank you. Somebody just tipped 333. That is awesome. Thank you. Very cool. That's just somebody just made my night. Like that's so random. That's thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of at a spot where there's not a whole lot I can show you that I can teach you about. But hang in there. There's obviously, as we get into the next row, there's going to be more. Oh, I guess you guys kind of missed out on when I first started the video here today. I was explaining that I'm trying to learn calligraphy, and I've really been kind of hard on myself about the notion of, you know, you write stuff for your whole life. Why is calligraphy so hard? And it comes down to, I've come to realize that if you want to do something well, you have to really practice it a lot. And for me, I've been doing knotting work for so long, a lot of what I do, I kind of take for granted as to how much muscle memory has gone into getting as far as I am with this. So yeah, it just takes time and effort. If you want to have things consistent, you have to make an effort to make it consistent. And so that's sort of my epiphany of the week, is that yeah, this takes a while. You're nodding along, that's awesome. Well, hopefully the upbeat music and my continual droning is helpful. Sometimes I wonder if I talk too much, but I feel like, you know, dead space is sort of weird too, so I don't know. Great, tone down the music is good too. Swear it felt like music was a little bit too upbeat. Get my heart going. Okay, so again, I was talking about how I was putting the strings off to the side. What I've done here is essentially that I know that I'll basically be working on this row as it comes down. And so in that, I only need these strings. I won't be making this diamond at all, not this round, that will come afterwards. So I can set those off to the side, and I've got these clips, right? Yeah, I'm sure that everybody's familiar with these great big clips, kind of like these ones, except for slightly different. Anyways, they're clipped onto the board, and then by flipping it up, this is what holds it in place. Oh, right on. That's cool. Okay. I love it when people check out the my other things. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I will actually have that as a coffee, because that's awesome. Thank you. It's either going to go towards a coffee or more string at this point. I did. Yes, it came up. It said anonymous, but yes, I did get it. Thank you. Okay, hang on. I suddenly lost complete and total track of where I'm at. All right. So the next square is the same as this one here, and taking a look at my string, it's apparent that I have a yellow that's too short, so I need to grab a yellow. Be right back. 2 seconds. It's only right over here. I have hooks on the wall for my string, so I can cut up everything in advance. It really helps with the whole rhythm of getting something done by not having to stop whatever you're doing to cut string. All right, so this is yeah, I have to admit, I kind of, PayPal sort of became a thing of the past for me until just recently. Trying to find ways for people to be able to get bracelets or to make contributions and stuff. I had somebody wanted me to design some bracelet patterns based on a show from Disney Plus, so that was interesting. That was a little challenge. I rose to the occasion, of course. Oh, right. The first one was Rapunzel. How is it you're so far behind? Like, I was talking about that like ages ago. How are you? I feel like you're like got computer lags or something. Yes, the first one was Rapunzel, and nobody knew how to spell it properly. Oh my God. That was the most hilarious thing. I slipped up when the first person tried to type it in there. It was like, and then it didn't register, and I had no idea why, because my spelling sucks. And then it became a dueling battle of people trying to spell Rapunzel because they figured out like that was the word. Oh my God, that was hilarious. And I'm sorry, I actually just added that string, and I could have actually used that as a teachable moment, but I got all excited about the fact that I remembered what the word was. Anyways, hopefully you guys saw that. But it gives me a chance to, now that I'm going to replace that yellow, I don't have to worry about it running out as I go on, because it'll be a while before it's actually used again. Yeah, so I've been trying to use stuff that's pertinent to the channel, like this one. When when somebody finally guesses the word that I used for the giveaway, there's going to be a great big aha and a lot of, oh, I should have guessed that. I just know it. I know that's what's going to happen. But until then, it's just going to be weird. And the whole point of the game was to try to get more conversation in the chat part of it, because that way Google's like, oh, look, they're all having a good time and they're talking a lot and all this kind of stuff. We'll put the thumbnail in front of more people. That's the hope. Because eventually I'd like this channel to be able to make money, because it, as far as YouTube goes, it does not make a dime. And I'd like it to get to the point where it was making some money, because then I could do more giveaways. Right now my giveaways are limited to the Patreon, but I have hopes of changing that in the future. Well, I'm glad you asked. You can go over to my website, akaawol.com, and there is the link with the shop. And there's all kinds of stuff, including bags. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff to be had over there. I do. I actually have sent to Europe not too long ago. I sent to England not very long ago. And you'll find that because I'm in Singapore, the exchange rate is incredibly favorable. Yes, Netherlands as well. The exchange rate is incredibly favorable for you. So something that I may have priced out at a couple $100, you might find like the Celtic looking bag, you'll probably find that it's probably closer to like 70 or 80 in the euros. So yeah, it's a cool place to be in, I would think. The Celtic bag is like an interesting one, like only because in order for me to try to make it look tarnished, I actually took the strings and mixed colors together in order to give it a tarnished look, which was cool at the first part of it. But then when I had to add strings, I actually had to split skeins in half in order to continue with that same kind of marbly effect that it has. Something that the pictures don't do it nearly the justice. But then there's a big bag that's got 144 colors in it. That was pretty interesting. But there's lots of little bracelets too. There's bracelets with the little clapper bells. I picked that up on a trip over in Thailand. The string was absolutely amazing. It was like a rough cotton that wasn't too rough, but it just made such nice knots. Oh gosh, probably, if I had to guess, 3 weeks. I'm pretty sure I had the Celtic bag done in 3 weeks. I think it would have been done faster if I hadn't tried to mix the strings. I think that was really the kicker. Mind you, I'm kind of, I know it doesn't seem like it with this big huge project, but I am actually kind of quick at making stuff, especially if I'm excited about it. So yeah, it really shouldn't take me too long. Mind you, that bag I actually had to do something pretty clever. When I was making it, I had graph paper to actually show me what the over and under part looked like, but I needed a way to be able to know this where it started, the actual starting point for each one. So what I did was, where the starting points are, the marker that would actually show me on the paper where it was, I put a little bit of red string through it, not actually tied on, just a loop tied to itself. And then when I got to where it repeated itself, I put another little red string, and that way I could go through and know where each part of those segments and stuff were. So that was there's a little insight for you if you want to try doing a repeating pattern and you need to know where the start is versus the other parts that look alike. That was it. Yeah, I think that's part of the fun of actually owning some of my projects. Um, if you guys are interested, I mean, I can give you all kinds of backstories. There's like, I don't go into these things lightly. I give it a lot of thought because, like anything that I make, I probably have the majority of everything figured out long before I even start my first knots. So, um, yeah. Um, the shop? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, from akaawol.com, and then oh. my bot to the rescue. Look at that. That's so cute. Right. Right. Yeah. And my mom was into doing crocheting and needle points and all these things. So I do use some of the skills I've acquired from her um, to be able to work out some of my problems and differences in this kind of work. Because honestly, I I dabble into uncharted territory all the time. Like I don't think I'd ever seen anybody else doing big kumi loops and then going into the bag and then making the bottom part seal up as far as the bag goes. Um, and since there's nobody to ask, like, how would you do it? It was, I would kind of work it all out on paper in advance and then put that theory to the test. And yeah, I think I'm up to like 15 big bags, but yeah. Welcome to real time, I guess. Rainbow Haze. I mostly, okay, so I used to almost always use DMC, but right now I really favor the stuff that I get out of China, and for a couple of different reasons. First off, the size of DMC floss is ever so slightly smaller, which doesn't seem like that would be a thing, but when you do 866 strings wide, there could be a huge difference, like really a huge difference. Like even just from the first bag to the second bag, there was a difference of almost 8 inches in size with the same exact number of strings. Now, mind you, the string I used on the first bag was from Daiso, and it was really cheap stuff from Japan. And it was a little bit smaller than what DMC is. So, comparatively speaking, but this comes out of China. I actually get it from through AliExpress. If you go and look for embroidery floss from the factory store, that's who I actually get it from. These guys are great. Mind you, it's not a good time to try to order string because they are about to have Chinese New Year's. That begins February 1st, and most of China pretty much closes down for about a month. So if you're thinking about getting strings, that's a good place to get it. Like I said, it's just a little bit thicker, and that means it's just a little bit heavier as far as like the thickness of the material that it creates, as well as one of the things I love about it is this has had 670 skeins so far into this whole project. Out of all those skeins, I may have had 3 cases where there was a knot in the skein, right? The skeins are what, 8 meters long, and I want to use all of it. I divide it into 3 equal pieces or equal sizes and cut it as such. If there's a knot somewhere, I can't use it, and that's a real waste of string, especially if you're losing a whole third of string. That seems kind of wasteful. But the fact that there's probably only been 3 out of this much string is statistically really, really good. And even DMC, for as awesome quality as their string is, they're not, well, maybe it's from who I'm getting it from or whatever. I don't get those kind of numbers off of it. Plus, if you buy in bulk like I do, it comes down to really, really like maybe 10 cents each, which for me, that's great. I mean, if you're going to do big projects, getting that cost down is absolutely every skein. Well, again, this project already has 670. I think if I remember right, when we ordered up the string for this, I think it's somewhere right around 900, and I think we've had to add more because I was running out of the light blue. So we might be looking at about 1,000 skeins. So if you imagine, even a penny difference would be like, $10, right? So it definitely saves me some money this way. And like I said, with it being thicker, means I actually get a bigger, because I wanted like a big wall mural, right? Or wall hanging. So having it turn out a little bit bigger is good, because it's kind of how I wanted it to look. Because it's what, 4.5 foot or 140 cm wide. I'm going to turn on the sound here. Cool. Still a little loud in the studio, so anyway. Oh, and another thing about that, the website where I bought the string, they have a package where you can get 447 colors, which is one of everything that they have. And yes, I know that DMC has more colors than that, but honestly, at 447, you pretty much covers all of it. No, it's actually embroidery floss. It's the same kind of stuff that people use for cross stitch. So it comes like in 8-meter lengths. Actually, I can show you. It comes like this. And I've also been really pleased with the color consistencies too, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, so they sell 447 colors, which I bought that set, and I took 1/4 of each one of those and wrapped it up on the little bobbins and put it into a box along with the little tag thing from it. So that way I would have a little swatch. So when I wanted to judge making something big or whatever, or just anything for that matter, I could pull out the swatches and figure out which colors I wanted to purchase. Right. Yeah. And it's good string, you have all the colors. Yeah. Yeah. So then, so I used, like I said, I was using 1/4 of each of the skeins to make myself swatches, and I used the remaining 3/4 to make as many bracelets as I could. And selling all those bracelets, I still ended up with more money than the cost of the string, the cost of the totes to put it in, and the bobbins. So it kind of paid for itself. Is there a pattern? Okay, so over on my website, this is my website. Oh, wait. Where's my keyboard now? Hang on. Okay, so there's the website. You can go over there, and there is, under tutorials, there is some pictures and stuff. Oh, I took out the picture. Okay, yeah, you'll have to go over to the website. It's going to be under tutorials, and it's called The Big Project. But yeah, there is a pattern. Well, it's a bunch of a pattern. So yes. Basically, I have patterns laid out for, there's 6 different of these. And this row here, from like here to here, there's 6 different ones, and then it repeats. And then each one of these has a particular thing underneath it, so there's 6 of those. So yeah, it's a little bit complicated, but it's there. Oh yeah, so wait, I was gonna show you. So this is half of my 447. I essentially have oodles of strings. This is my greens and blues and purples. And then the other ones are red, orange, and yellows, as well as the grayscale, I think is in the other box. But yeah, from here, I can create all the different blends or whatever. When I did the bag with the 144 colors, essentially I was picking out groups of colors in sets of 4. I was picking out colors in the sets of 4 and creating this pattern to go with those sets of 4. And it goes 144 colors all the way around. So yeah, it's a little bit complicated, and it was incredibly complicated when it comes to I had to develop a method for changing the colors and making sure that I matched up the exact right color with it. So there was a lot of well, I have a ruler that's 1.5 meters long, and I clipped the baggies with the strings to that ruler, so that way I could actually go back and find the strings to that particular one. So yeah, that was a really big project, that bag. Actually, if you go on my website under my portfolio, I think there's a picture of it with a teddy bear. My photographer was having fun, and she did it with a picture of with a stuffed animal. I know that because I used that picture for a summer sale I had. But yeah, the pattern for this can be scaled down to like bracelet size. It doesn't have to be this ridiculous. And if you go back further in the tutorials, you can actually, there's one Coffee Blues and Highly Caffeinated, I think that were the titles. They were kind of like the prelude to this. Yeah, see, I couldn't agree more. Having the 447 just changes everything. It makes it easy to know, if you're looking for a fade, if you're looking for a particular kind of combination, if you're looking, whatever it is. And you get to find out that the majority of the strings that there's more repetitiveness are the greens. There's just so much more green than there is any other color. Like if you count out like how many blues there are, well, there's a fair number of blues. Purple seems to be weak. Yellow is weak. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to make a fade, if you want to make cool combinations, whatever you're trying to come up with, having the 447 really gives you, because back in the day they used to DMC used to have like these cool, probably skipping a lot used to. This is what DMC used to have, and it actually had string in there, and it was actually pretty cool. And for some stupid reason they decided they don't want to do it anymore, and basically it's like they produce something that's got like a picture of the strings. It's not even like the strings themselves anymore. So, and it's expensive. So yeah, it just made so much more sense for me to buy the 447 and use it. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, if anybody who's wanting to get involved with embroidery floss, whether it's for the cross stitch or whatever else, the 447 makes a lot of sense. I honestly, if I was more into the whole like stitching thing, I think it'd be cute to take the 447 and be able to arrange it on an embroidery where like maybe you use the string to make the numbers, do a little flat swatch and like the number. Be a real cool way of being able to stow it. Oh, so if you wanted to go and so that's the portfolio, and the Rapunzel is the nickname given to the bags. So if you're confused by it, which I imagine most people should be, it was because I put the first bag that I was making, I put it over my head and let the strings dangle down like I had long hair. Being cute for my wife, the strings were so incredibly long. It was just like, look, I'm Rapunzel. And yeah, it's just like a silly inside thing that for whatever reason I still use it. Oh, I absolutely agree with the display color things on AliExpress not being the same. Although I have to admit, I just got my, so I'm practicing calligraphy, trying to learn how to write nicer. I got these pens. There was a set of 6 of them, and each one has different size nibs on it. And it paid about $6 for 6 pens, like $6 and I don't know, let's say even if it was $7, just a little more than $1 a piece for these pens. And it comes with like this thing that pulls the ink in. It works perfect. Like I'm so impressed with these pens. It's so cheap. I just can't understand how you can manufacture something so awesome so cheaply. I understand somebody working over at Parker or some other company is not going to be able to whatever, but yeah. I do. And for the life of me, I can't think of what it is right now. Hang on. Second. Trouble actually locking. Of all the times for the computer to actually ask for a 2-step verification. All right. Okay, so yeah, it is Kevin at akaawol.com. Actually, I can do this. That took a lot of effort. I know there's another one. I know there's one that the wife uses. But to be honest, I can't think of what it is. I'm used to having my wife help me with these things. No, I appreciate your interest. I'm actually flattered. It's nice to know that people are interested in things that I make, and the fact you're reaching out to me, it is flattering. Ooh, this white's too short. Hang on. All right. Okay, so again, I did half the knot with the short string, put this one on in the direction that everything is going to be going on, so it's going over to the left, and then I will complete the knot. So now these are both going this way. Now I'll go ahead and take the blue, give it a couple knots before I go pulling that anything over there with the white, just to make sure that everything is kind of secure and not going anywhere. Now once I've added a string on like this, I will keep the short string going for at least 3 or 4 knots more. Like, for example, this orange I'm coming down with will go over the 4 strings instead of just 2. And it's surprising. You would think that there's twice as much string that would make a noticeable difference. But with a nice firm tug, it really, you can't tell the difference. It's really cool like that. So it does take a little bit more of a tug than you would normally use, but it keeps it from being noticeable, and it'll assure that it won't come apart later on, if the person's using it like a bag or whatever else. Some of the early bags or whatever, my wife still has. I have the first bag, my wife got the second, and maybe the fourth or fifth. Well, she has 3 of them. One of them she's using like all the time. So yeah, it really holds up to like daily use. I mean, when you think about it, like you wear a bracelet, like I wear these in and out of the shower and they last for years. So there's no reason why a bag shouldn't last even longer. They don't get nearly the level of abuse. I am kind of relieved that some of the strings are running out now. Like I said, the next row on this, I'm just really fearful that it's just going to be so much changing a string. At least the ones that are changing now will be ones I don't have to worry about then. So that's a bit of a blessing, even if it doesn't, even though it's more work today, it'll means less work tomorrow. So I just take the short one, put it out of the way, tie the longer one, lay the short one through it, tie it together. And that's enough now that I can tuck the rest of that tail in the back. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked at how absolutely great I feel today. I was saying earlier that today I started the day out with trying to push myself to do 100 kilometers on my indoor bike, and having successfully done that, I kind of was afraid that I would be tired by this time at night. That I would be like, wow, but yeah. Okay, cool. I'll check that out as soon as I get done with the video. But yeah, I did 100 kilometers, and rather than feeling down and whatever, I actually feel pretty good. Although I have to admit, I wish my wife was here. I ran out of beverages a little while ago. Actually, give me just a second. I'm going to grab a soda. I'm dying of thirst here, so I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Just dying of thirst over here. Orange flavored Coca-Cola to the rescue. I think it's 8-ball, not 8-bot. Wakey, wakey. Is the magic 8 ball saying that Mandy was not stolen? So Rainbow, you were saying you have the 447 as well. Did you do the same thing as I did with the little bobbins to wind it up? What up? Here comes trouble. Oh man. But hang on, before we get too far off topic, Rainbow, what did you do with your 447? Did you put it onto little bobbins, or did you just leave them all together in a box, or how do you use your 447? Curious. Okay. Yeah, because I can't imagine wanting to buy the 447 twice over, but yeah. That is awesome. I'm glad to see you were inspired. That's cool. Yeah, if you put the whole skeins together, yeah, it's going to take 4 boxes. If you cut it down to where you just keep a scrap of each one, it only takes 2. Crud. Alright, I need to change out the red strings. Hang on. So Phil, you'll be proud of your boy, man. Did 100 kilometers on the bike today. Not bad for an old man. I have no idea what 100 kilometers is in miles. Okay, Google. How many miles is 100 kilometers?
100 kilometers is 62.137 miles.
62 miles on a bike. Yeah, I love the ability to just ask Google whatever, like things like that. That helps so much. No, try to keep young. keep myself in shape so that way side pieces check me out. Wait, Mandy said she can't hear this, right? Yeah. I want to get them looks like, ooh, he looks good. Not, oh my God, he's old and ew. I was honestly prepared for it to take 4 hours. I figured if I just did, a nice low key, you know, 25 kilometers an hour, I could have, the whole thing done in 4 hours. I ended up just past 3.5 hours. I finished it. Mind you, so far this month, that puts me up to 900 kilometers on the bike so far this month. Yeah, she's the one that's pushing me to get in better shape. Heck, I think nobody takes me getting a compliment better than my wife. Right. But yeah, I just had what, 3 days of not doing any biking at all. So, and there was an excessive amount of drinking. When they go and give you a 1 hour window to have as much liquor as you want, double, 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 double. Oh man, I was getting tore up. So let's talk about your expertise. Some of the things you do. You do the plastic um, making stuff thing, whatever you call that. The molded stuff. Do you create like any of your own patterns, or do you have to use somebody else's stuff all the time? Because if you make your own, I got some ideas. The wife has returned. Okay, I tell her. Round is a shape, honey. Phil's afraid that you don't think I'm in shape. Round is shape. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I tend to have a headset with me like everywhere I go, just in case. Does that phone have an ear jack?
No.
I hate this notion that all the phones are now going over and not having headphones. That sucks.
Phones got Dolby Atmos sound.
I will have to watch that. So anyways, Phil, I was asking, plastics, do you design your own shapes or do you only use stuff that you can find off the web? .3D printing, whatever. Do you design the 3D prints? Do you design the whatever is coming out of it? Okay, because here's the thing. I have a vase that's probably 6 inches in diameter. I'd have to measure it to be exact, but say it's 6 inches in diameter and about 3 foot tall. And I think it would be a cool thing to put shrimp into, like um, I'm sure there's a name for them. I can't think of what the hell it is, but there's these shrimp. They're like maybe less than a half-inch long. But it'd be cool to make structures for them to climb around on. So I'm thinking like some weird Escher-looking stairs and weird whatever for them to climb on. But I'm guessing it'd have to be done in sections because I'm pretty sure you can't make anything 3 foot tall. And because it's not something that anybody else would do, I'm sure there's no diagrams for something cool like that out there on the webs. It could be a hand model, honey. Hey, we don't do any shaming here. No shaming. Yeah. Well, okay, so how tall can you print? What's like the limit of your machine? Will do. What is that at 07? So I'm pretty sure you guys had to have heard that my wife got a new phone, and apparently her notifications are loud as hell. So, jeez, oh criminy. So Phil, what's the tallest you can 3D print? $400's cool. I mean, because it can be done in portions. So 40 cm. That's, yeah, okay. So Regina, I had the wife pull up the email. Yes, I can totally do that kind of stuff, but right now, couple things working against you on that one. Yes, I do custom works and I can follow other people's patterns, but I have the big project that I need to clear off of my plate first. Mostly just because I'm afraid if I put it to the side, I might not come back to it. Really, it's just been a lot of work, and it'll be really feel good to get it over with. And the other problem is, I have a ton of string in house right now for future projects, and really nowhere to put more at the moment. It's really quite a mess because after this, I planned on doing some pillows, and so I've already ordered up the string and got it here before Chinese New Year's, which is, like I was saying earlier, that's right around the corner, and basically China shuts down for about a month, so it'd take me a couple months before I could even have the string in to start a different project. And like I said, I kinda don't see that happening for just a little while. I mean, it's just, there's just too much already on my plate. Yeah, so right, if you're not in a hurry, then we can, you know, if it's something just a future habit down the road, we can totally do it. So Phil, if you okay, right, but if you're doing if it's meant to be like a cylinder and you have it on its side, then isn't that kind of gonna roll away or get wobbly or something? Yeah, but doesn't it sound like it'd be really badass to beat up an environmentalist with some plastic knuckles? Huh? I know. But if somebody was being too over the top environmentally, then. One second. So I got a couple small ones. I have this one. This was interesting because this was actually playing with alpha style knots. Ends up with a really cool star-like base to it. So this one is, let's see, what is it? If I just kind of relaxed, like have it across there, it's maybe 60 millimeters, 6 cm. Yeah, but that one's pretty small. This one would hold, you know, some money and your wallet stuff. To this one? Okay. Wife says this is better for checking this out. So this is how big this is. And then this one, a bit bigger, definitely should hold a wallet. Probably not a phone unless you have that Samsung Flip one, but this one, the pattern is really super cool. And it's got a longer strap, so you could actually like fling this around. So definitely for like carrying a wallet and some stuff. Those are the small ones. If you like that pattern, here's a bigger one. This one's kind of cool because it's sort of triangular and the colors are definitely popping. So, yeah. Hey, we were talking about this one. This one is even bigger still. I don't know if you can see it. So it's meant to look like copper, and it's supposed to, this greenish color is, can we get in close enough? It's two different colors mixed together to try to give it a patina look. So I think I'm saying it right. Am I saying it right? Yep. Wife says correct. So yeah, it's supposed to look like copper. Like tarnished copper. See what else? Okay, this is the 144 color. This one, like I was saying, is groups of 4. Like when I went through the 447, I went through to try to see how many groups of 4 I could possibly come up with, and this was it. And this one's got the spirally base. I basically taught myself how to do knotting on my own, and so I pretty much, most of all of these were designs that I came up with myself. This, however, was inspired by something I saw on Instagram, but I don't use other people's patterns. That's part of what I try to teach everybody, is how to get away with like doing designs without using somebody else's pattern. So the bonus is my office is kind of small, so far tonight all of the things that I've had to grab were within arm's reach. Way cool. And like even the bags and stuff, like there was no, I don't know, there's no, oh, I should teach you how to use the buttons. There's no, there was nobody doing it the way I do it before me, so I had to invent all kinds of different ways of making the bags the way they are, so that's kind of neat. Yeah, no, I learned it from a chick. Yeah, those I had printed. Those are not actually made by me. I have masks I made, but yeah. Yeah, I was taught how to make bracelets by a girl who, she only knew how to do one knot. So everything just kind of came down in a diagonal fashion. And my epiphany was if you tie the knot backwards, it would go in the opposite direction. And from there, I started coming up with all kinds of patterns and stuff. And then, yeah, go figure. Years later, I ran into her and showed her what I had learned, and she was blown away. Like, you know, couldn't even fathom it. So Phil, you ever go to Florida? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's many of the masks left, honestly. If it's in the shop, that means there's still something left, but there's not many, for sure. I know that I kept aside one or more for myself, just because I thought it'd be fun to go out wearing my own things. But yeah, they did kind of sell. That's way cool. I was asking if you ever been to Florida. Was that down at Busch Gardens, they have these machines where you put the, I don't know, dollar or whatever it was you put in there with coins, and then the thing closes, plastic injects, and then it pops open and spits out your plastic whatever toy it was, rhinos and all kinds of weird shit. I was just wondering if that's kind of like the, yeah, okay. So then you had to have been at Busch Gardens. You have to know the plastic toy things. Does the plastic like that they use, is that like what the same kind of stuff that you use? Or it comes out and it's all kind of still a little sticky and I used to love that shit, man. I had my parents carrying an armful of those damn toys. Wow. You missed something cool, man. Busch Gardens was the place. Back when I was a kid, the only ride they had was the flume ride, which was awesome on a hot day. You just go down this log floating in the river thing and major splash at the end. You get soaking wet. Felt awesome. Later on, they started putting in bigger roller coasters and all kinds of other stuff. They did all kinds of animal shows and the orangutan from Every Which Way But Loose with Clint Eastwood was a performer there. All the stuff that you see in the movie that he does were the same tricks and the same kind of stunts or whatever that they used in the movie. Yeah, I pretty much, Regina, I make my own designs. I really come up with my own. I play with like a graph paper. So Regina, that link I just put in there, that is the graph paper I use. I actually made it up so that way people don't actually have to create it for themselves. With it, it gives me the ability to basically any given knot. I'll show you right here. 2 strings, right? They're both orange, so it doesn't matter which direction I tie them. If I tie it going to the right or to the left or to the right, it won't matter. The knot on the top will be orange, right? So go ahead and tie that off. Next, now I have an orange and a blue. If I tie this over going this way, I can go to the left and it's going to be a blue knot, and then I can choose which direction the tail goes in, left or right, afterwards based on how it works. In this instance though, I'm going to make it orange knot, so I start with orange. Now, which direction do I want the tail? If I wanted the tail to come over to the right or to the left, I would go this way with the knot, but I don't. I want it to go to the right, so I go this direction. With my graph paper that I have, it shows you how this blue ended up here when the orange is going that way. And from that, I can pretty much work out any kind of design at all. Everything in this row here all starts out with the colors in the same exact sequence. And then when they end, they're in a different sequence. It's not totally symmetrical. And that's why everything in the following row below it is different from this row. And that's how this pattern's been made to look as impressive as it is. Yeah, well, I put it on the web. I didn't find it on the web. I put it there because once upon a time I drew this stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I designed all my stuff. And then I put it up there for you guys to be able to actually utilize the tools that I made. Because I think that this craft could use a bit of a push into the evolutionary whatevers. There should be more creativity and less just going off of patterns that other people made. That's just my thought. Or if you see a pattern you like, but you want to be able to make it start differently or end differently, or figure out how to put a special part of it into the middle, all that gets done with the graph paper, and that's how I do it. That would be fantastic, by the way. Patreon is just to go to the website, you create yourself a user. I would wait until after February 1st, otherwise you'll get double charged for only a couple days, but that's entirely up to you. Even a $5 level, you still get most of the stuff. So yeah, that would be fantastic. But yeah, it's about creating an account. I don't know, what else is there? Yeah. And then make sure you give us a name that you would want to have show up in the credits, because I do like to hit this little button over here and thank all my Patreon supporters for making this channel available. It's they're not by any stretch making me rich, but it definitely helps afford a bit more string and a bit more stuff for giveaways. So yeah. I was wondering, like, am I kind of feeling like I'm getting a little tired over here, but starting to realize, yeah, it's 20 after midnight already, so yeah. Probably give it another 10 minutes, guys. What do you think? Oh, and I need to replace another yellow. Damn it. Other side's fine. Alright, let me grab a yellow. No, we're still waiting on it. It's video related. I can't believe that nobody's done a thing to actually go through and find like videos, ideas and titles and things to help. Yeah, well, okay, there was one girl. There was Amanda. She tried. Rather unsuccessfully. So come on, Phil, what do you got for video related words that might be the magic word? Well, Rainbow Haze Shop is a contributor to this particular contest, so in order to make sure she didn't actually win the damn thing herself, she is actually privy to the word. And like I said, when you guys actually figure out what the word was, you're gonna be like, oh my god, really? Because it's so easy. It's damn near searchable. Might be searchable. But you could be a winner. You too are eligible to win the lovely prizes as seen here on the internet, where everything is trustworthy. I don't know. I'm getting tired. Oh, Lord have mercy. Right. The bot probably works for this guy. Believe it or not, me and Phil used to work at the same job, and back in those days, I was probably the more villainous one. Yes. Well, if Phil is evil. The bot's afraid to answer in front of him. I did, Regina. I did. Thank you. That is true. I was thinking in particularly the tech team where I kept dropping my pencil just to have that nice young lady come pick it up for me. Yeah, I was probably the more evil one at that time. Oh, thank you, Regina. Thank you. All of them come with measurements. I'm not sure where you have to go, like on, yeah, when you see the pictures or whatever, just scroll down. It should be right there. It should they sh- each one of them has its like each one is different, but it's yeah. No, we went to great lengths to even get calipers and stuff to be able to measure accurately. But yeah, so they're all different kinds of sizes. Yeah, that girl loved the attention, man. That was that was good times. Yeah, you got eviler after I left. After I went off over to the Ford project, which was the biggest, dumbest thing I ever did. I liked it at Liberty Mutual. Hang on, Regina. I'm gonna try to see if I can like get a link. Bear with me. Yeah, what I'm working on right now is 140 cms wide or 4.5 foot wide. It is ginormous. This is what I'm working on right now. So comparatively speaking, yeah, huge. Hang on. Okay, so if you look at that link, Regina, if you look at that link and you scroll down under the tab where it says additional information, it's 17 cm wide and 17 cm tall with a 4 cm depth. So, and then it's got 120 cm drawstring. So, yeah, you're not American, so the measurement should actually work out. But yeah, it's under. If you just scroll down, it's where it says additional information. It actually gives you the sizes. No, this is a wall hanging. This is for me to put in my house. I wanted to have a decoration. Yeah, it does kind of look like a blanket. No, it doesn't have that much further to go. I'm already, I want to say 40 cm long so far, and it's supposed to be 60 cm in length, so not bad. So anyways, it is after 1:30 or 12:30 in the morning here, and it's been a very long day. I did a long bike ride this morning, so I'm getting really kind of tired. So before I wrap up, I do want to thank everybody for hanging around this long. That's been amazing. I had a lot of fun tonight. And I do want to thank all my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, the channel would have died off ages ago. So thank you for all of that. And anybody thinking about joining up, like I said, you'd probably best to wait until the beginning of February, because otherwise it'll just double charge you. I don't have control over this. It's just part of their system. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or whatever, you can always get a hold of me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. I even gave out my email here tonight. So yeah, I'll be back again next week, next Saturday at same time. So come on back. And yeah, it is, Regina, it is a repeating pattern, except I have it spaced out so that way it doesn't repeat as too often. So that way it kind of makes it a little bit more complex. If you go into my tutorial area over on my website, you can actually see some of how I laid it out. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, yeah, I will see you guys again next week. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.